Good morning. Welcome to another Canvas Partner Day, where we have a lineup of Canvas partners demonstrating their services and products and showcasing their custom integrations with Canvas. My name is Kenzie Egan, and I'm the Strategic Partner Marketing Manager at Instructure. If you've ever wondered which platforms and products we partner with, check out our partner portal. You can search our partnership and learn more about the services each provide. Go to partners.instructure.com/directory to check it out. Today, we have a special keynote speaker for you. Ron Park, the CTO and SVP of Engineering and Operations at Turnitin, will talk about what's new with Turnitin as it relates to academic integrity. We know this tool is leveraged by many of our Canvas users, and the topic is typically trending in the Canvas community. So without further delay, please welcome Ron Park.
Hi, good morning. I've got the honor of kicking off the Canvas Live Partner Day with the opening keynote. And I just want to say thank you to Canvas for making this possible. Turnitin is best known, as I think most of you know, for its originality checking services, as well as grading and feedback tools. In addition to automated writing tools. We have many joint customers between Turnitin and Canvas, and we're excited to be here this morning to tell you about some of the new developments with respect to academic integrity. There's a lot of positive changes at Turnitin recently, and for those of you that have been longtime customers or are looking at potentially using our services, I'm here to tell you there's a lot of things going on. We have new investors and new management. We have new products and technology. There's a renewed and boosted customer and partner-centric approach at Turnitin that I'm happy to tell you about. And also Turnitin has transformed into a global company. So the details here are that we had new investors in 2014, and our majority investor is Insight Venture Partners. Really what this means is we brought a new management team into the company, and over the last couple of years, we've been changing the way we've been approaching our business and trying to make it more friendly and customer-centric. The company has also transitioned into a multi-product company. So we're most known for Feedback Studio, but we also introduced another product family called Revision Assistant that's all about automated feedback. Also, we've been modernizing our technology stack in the background as well. Our products leverage big data and machine learning in a much better way than we ever have before. I'm here today to tell you about the CanvasPlagiarism Framework and the early release that we have currently testing in beta right now, and so there's a lot of interest in that in the community. And also, we just announced a new product focused on authorship or contract cheating or ghostwriting, as it's also known. And so I'm excited to tell you about that today as well. We created customer success teams internally in the company in 2016. So this is entering the second year of having a customer success team. We've also expanded product support and have doubled down on that over the past year and increasing our global coverage for our customers. And also, just this event is a good example of closer partnering with Canvas to create a better solution between the Canvas LMS and Turnitin. We are doing joint training specifically on the integration between Turnitin and Canvas. We have joint marketing events like this one, and there's some things that are on the horizon as well that we're pretty excited about. Turnitin has become very, very global. I think at last count we had 19 different languages we supported, and we're operating in 149 different countries in the world, which is somewhat amazing. And also Turnitin has 7 worldwide offices. So over the last couple of years, Turnitin's become a very, very big global company. So this presentation today is divided into 3 different parts. I'm going to first talk about our originality and give a little bit of a history lesson for those of you that aren't customers or checking out our services. And then I'm going to transition to talking about academic integrity. I'm going to give it a little bit of information about the Canvas Plagiarism Framework release that's upcoming. And then we're going to talk about the recent authorship solution, or ghostwriting, as it's shown here in this slide. So this is a bit of a history lesson. Turnitin got started with some grad students out of UC Berkeley in 1998. So we've been in this business for quite a long time. And we got focused on copy-paste plagiarism, or similarity detection, as some people will call it. There's 70 billion plus web pages in our repository. We crawl the web, and our business really got started there with really web checking as our first incarnation. We moved on as the company progressed to looking at student collusion. And so we created what we call the student paper database. And right now we have about 700 million of those that we're able to compare different works against across different institutions. And so that was a pretty big thing that we worked with our customers to create. Also, we noticed that research misconduct was on the rise and was really important to research institutions. So we also did made some relationships with an organization known as Crossref to provide sort of research content exclusively in our comparison database, so that we could detect when there were academic misconduct with respect to journals and periodicals. And then finally, I'm here to tell you about today, we're sort of focusing on the next sort of leap in the area of academic integrity. And if you think about academic integrity as a larger umbrella, ghostwriting or contract cheating misconduct is also something that we're focusing on as well. And we're working closely with some of the partners that are listed here, two in Australia, in UNSW and Deakin University, and then also one here in the United States, UC San Diego. So we're working closely with some of our customers, and we're really excited about some of the things that we're doing here. Okay, we're also in the background building on a new technology platform, and this is important for a number of different reasons. But our platform is designed to be more scalable, more secure, and private. So we're deployed on the cloud. It's a cloud-based infrastructure that's scalable both horizontally and vertically. It's also designed for privacy and some of the privacy regulations that are emerging, and not only in the US, but also in various countries around the world. We will be GDPR compliant by May of 2018 this year. And so that's something that's important that we're working on. We've also embedded a lot of machine learning intelligence in the background in our products that powers insights and predictions in a much more automated way, in many different ways as parts of our platform. Our new platform is designed to be more accessible and responsive in terms of its design, to run on any different type of device, and make sure that we meet accessibility standards in the ways that we need to meet for our customer base. And then finally, you know, the new technology platform is also moving forward in a number of different other ways, and is much more scalable and powerful than we've been in the past. So I'm going to transition a little bit to talk about academic integrity. We are focusing on that. And really, in terms of academic integrity, it needs to be taught. And so I really like this quote here by Marilyn Price Mitchell. And really, it's the idea that integrity transcends the classroom. It's bigger than just the classroom and applies to other lives. And so in terms of lifelong learning, it's a principle that starts in the elementary and secondary level, and then it moves on to the collegiate and to the graduate level and beyond. I think personally, it's something that it's something that for me, personally, that I have a lot of passion for. And in terms of making sure that we apply the lessons learned in the classroom and I can apply them to my life, I think that that's one of the things that we're trying to do as a mission for Turnitin. In terms of the academic integrity challenge, it's a balance. And so you've got policy and technology on the bottom here, and we view ourselves as providing tools to provide a balance between awareness and education on academic integrity, and then a balance between being able to enforce that, to enforce the standards and provide protection for the reputation of institutions. So again, it's a balance between sort of an educational approach on the left, and then an enforcement and a capability on the right. In terms of how we support academic integrity today, this is somewhat of a complicated slide. It has sort of a lot of moving parts on here, but this is a framework from the Academic Integrity Association, as we've listed here. There's 4 different aspects of this, and it's listed across the top. So first of all, there's the definition of policy, and this is something that Turnitin isn't entirely doing today. You see the open circle there. It's usually within the responsibility of the organization that we support to define that policy, and we're not currently providing tools to do that. However, we are focusing on, as we go across from left to right, the raising of awareness and the educational aspects as well. So many institutions use Turnitin today in a formative fashion to communicate the importance of integrity. We recently put out a recent release known as the winter release in January for our customers to allow resubmissions. And that resubmission feature is being used by a lot of our customers in a much more formative way to help students learn and to learn more about the importance of originality checking as they do their work. We also recognize that not all use cases support that. So certainly there are bells and whistles and knobs and dials to turn that on and off. Also in the educational process, Educate is the third one we leave in here. We have some great tools to provide formative feedback. And last year there were about 30 million different forms of feedback left in various ways from instructors using our tools. And then finally, our tools are best known for the enforcement of our policies at the far right. I'm going to transition a little bit and talk about the Canvas Plagiarism Framework. This is something that is available now in beta. We had 15 institutions that are part of joint customers participating in this, and their locations are listed here. We're very excited about this. The beta program ran for about 4 months. We did some survey results, which I'm going to share. But we had a number of different realms of feedback here, and we've been working closely with Canvas to bring this to market. But there's a lot of excitement around it. It seems to be a much tighter and better integration. It is originality check or similarity check only. The early access program just started this month, and we've got about 50 institutions participating in it. So I wanted to make sure that I communicated this. We're also planning to go GA, full GA, and make it fully available to all customers in Q2. We're working on the last few integration points with Canvas, and there's a couple of last few bugs to work out in the program. In terms of the top 5 takeaways from surveying our customers that have used this in an early fashion, customers find it really easy to use, so it's a lot easier to use than in the past. The interest is not just in similarity checking, and so customers are looking, and some of your feedback that's found its way back to us in taking it beyond just similarity check, but also to feedback as well. We identified some integration issues, and we're working to resolve those. We established a much better understanding of some of the workflows that are the most popular. And we also discovered that most of our participants were happy to roll out the integration at an institutional level. So it's been pretty stable so far. And some of the last features we're working on are a little bit more advanced. Okay, I'm going to segue a little bit in terms of talking about contract cheating, but there are basically 3 different types of contract cheating, and this is something that we're working on in terms of new product offerings. If you go to our website, you'll see that we recently did a marketing release with respect to this, and we're calling it Authorship Investigation. But one of the things that we're doing here is we discovered that there are essay writing sites that are out there that students are using to have academic papers written by professional writers. Also, there are freelancers that are out there that charge for type of work that's that they need to do, as well as the different level. So bachelor's, master's, or even PhD in some cases, and they vary by subject. And then also there are various folks that use friends and family, and that's very common as well. And so this is a problem that we can't really solve today, but it's a problem that we're bringing a solution to market for. Using just pure text similarity, we can show that the work is original, but we can't really show that it was done by the student that claims it is their own work. And this is the problem that we're trying to solve. Here's a quote from a ghostwriter, David Tomar, who wrote about his career as a ghostwriter, just saying he completed entire semesters or years of courses of study, entire degrees, for a period as long as 2 or 3 years. Some of these ghostwriters get contracted for long periods of time just so that there's no hint of, and they have the same sort of style and tone in their work. How big is this problem? It's first occurring in Australia, and I'll give some more data on this, but 6% of Australian students have engaged in 1 or more contract cheating types of behaviors. So we estimate somewhere between 5 and 10%. And then some folks report up to 22% report having paid somebody to complete an assignment for them. And this is much more of a serious academic integrity issue than simple copy-paste plagiarism, which might simply be a failure to cite something. If somebody is paying money and there's an exchange, a financial transaction going on, it's a much more serious issue for most institutions. In terms of the solution here, we estimate that up to about 20% of papers submitted to Turnitin are ghostwritten, and this is becoming a very big problem that we're trying to solve right now. And so we're bringing a solution to market that's currently in beta, and we're pretty excited about this new capability. We are testing it with a few customers, and then we'll expand that into an early access program. And so certainly if you're interested, we can talk more, and we'll put you in touch with the right people internally at Turnitin to partner with you on this. So closing thoughts, I just really wanted to give sort of a brief update on a lot of positive changes going on at Turnitin over the last couple of years. We have new investors, we have new management, there's new technology and products that are on the way. The CanvasPlagiarism Framework beta release is available now, and it will be GA in Q2. And then we're also solving a new problem with respect to contract cheating as a part of improving academic integrity. So in terms of the value that our customers and partners get from our software, we're increasing that, and we're looking at bringing this to market very, very soon. So look for more announcements coming soon. And with that, what I'd like to do is conclude my presentation and thank you, and answer any questions that may have come up. I noticed that there's some questions in the chat.
Thank you so much, Ron. Okay, yes, we're going to open it up to Q&A. So if you have any questions for Ron, please post them in the chat. We're going to start with one question from Jennifer Cronin-Flynn. She said, can you speak about which integration issues it will address, talking about the CPF beta?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there are a couple different integration issues that are out there from a legacy perspective between Turnitin and Canvas. And so those are built on some of our older technology stacks, and there's various types of integrations. So without getting into all the details, there's LTI as one vehicle, and that's a more loosely coupled integration, as I'll describe it. It is more full-featured, but it's a little bit more difficult to configure and use from an end user point of view. If folks are interested in a simple integration, there's the current Turnitin and Canvas integration, which is known as the legacy plugin. And then we're working on a new one built on the CanvasPlagiarism Framework, which is a much simpler checkbox style, it just works type of integration. So that's the type of integration issues that we're addressing. In terms of the last few bugs that we're working out between Canvas and Turnitin, it's things like course copy, group work, and certificate signing that I believe are on the list for development to work through.
Great, thank you. We had another question come in from Marquita Poinsetta. She said, we are rolling out Canvas live in the summer, in process of training transition from Blackboard. Signed with Verisight for integration when we go live. Just saw where Turnitin acquired Verisight. How will this affect the current customers of Verisight? Will I need to be concerned for training, interface, etc. for my instructors?
Yeah, sure. So our goal here is to ensure that we've got a very smooth transition for Verisight customers. If you're using Verisight today and planning on rolling it out, we're planning on continuing to support Verisight in the way that it's currently working. And so really we're trying to be customer centric here and do the right thing for you. We'll work with you through our customer success organization to make sure that your training and rollout goes smoothly. We are talking about a transition, and we will be working with you on a smooth transition when the time comes and when it makes sense for you. I should probably add one last thing there, because I'm sure that I knew that the Verisight acquisition question would come up. The goal here is to provide equivalent functionality to Verisight using the Turnitin service. We still have some work to do there, and so we want to make sure that we provide functionally equivalent functionality to the capabilities that are there in Verisight. Our development teams are working on that right now, and we expect that we'll have more announcements in the summer. So for now, I would say just stand tight, proceed ahead, and we'll make sure that Verisight customers have a seamless transition.
Great, thank you. All right, we have another question from Jennifer Cronin Flynn. She asked, do we need to do anything to turn on the CPF in our Canvas Turnitin instance?
Yeah, there's a configuration that's there as an administrator, and we'll be providing training around the integration between Canvas and the Canvas Plagiarism Framework. But the good news is the Canvas Plagiarism Framework is fairly generic in terms of, hey, both, I just recently talked about Verisight, right, in the last question. Both Verisight and Turnitin are supporting that same framework. And so from a theoretical perspective, the setup is the same regardless of what the vendor is. So it's pretty easy.
Great, thank you so much. All right, we have some other questions coming in. Will the new CPF eventually allow for originality checking of other types, student work like discussion boards, posts, and quizzes?
That's a great question. That's less of a question around the CPF framework and more of the type of student work, I guess, that flows through the framework. I'm going to defer to Canvas on this one. I will certainly say, from a similarity check perspective, we're doing text similarity, and you can use our exclusions feature to sort of mask and unmask the various parts that are that you want to either include or exclude in the similarity check. What I would say, though, is in terms of that particular question, it's a question of sort of discussion board posts and quizzes from Canvas in terms of the content flowing into the similarity check service. I don't believe that exists today, but we certainly will work with Canvas to get that functionality onto the roadmap.
Great, thank you. All right, the next question is there a way to make sure the originality score in Turnitin matches the one in SpeedGrader?
Yeah, there certainly is, and the grading piece there is the one that we're working on between Canvas and Turnitin. So that's something that will be there as a part of the Canvas Plagiarism Framework.
Great, thank you. I think we have time for just a couple more questions.
Okay.
Let's see. So naming the tool the Plagiarism Framework is a huge turnoff for some faculty, particularly those who teach writing on our campus. Is there a way to change this name? The word plagiarism, it assumes guilt to our writing faculty and then will resist adopting.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think a better name would have been Similarity Framework or Originality Framework. I think that, again, it's a transition, as I was talking about. Our company is focused on that in terms of academic integrity. And so, yeah, the higher ground certainly would be better here in terms of naming. Turnitin didn't name the framework. That's a Canvas issue. So I would say we will work with Canvas on the naming, but I certainly understand the issue. And I think the last question there, the Canvas Plagiarism Framework is available today in beta. It's going early release this month. And then we will have a GA in Q2. So it's pretty much here, and it's in testing with lots and lots of different customers.
Awesome, thank you. So we have one last question we wanted to address. It is difficult as an admin to make changes to Turnitin setting in an assignment because I have to add myself to the class. Will this issue be addressed?
That is still a restriction that we have today, but that's something that we're aware of and we're working on. And so, yes, we will be addressing that.
Fabulous. All right, well, I think that's all the time we have for questions. Thank you so much, Ron, and thank you everyone for being here. If you have additional questions, feel free to post it in the community on the Keynote landing page. And thank you so much for being here, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Partner Day sessions. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.